Other graphing inequalities, but this is really more system inequalities. There's so many different ways to explain this problem, so I'm going to try this way, and I think this really might work better for a lot of the problems you might see on the SAT as well. And it's one thing to keep in mind is if you're thinking that you can graph this on a graphing calculator, this particular problem on the test will probably be in a section where they won't let you use a calculator. So let's see what's happening. Whenever I get to problems like this, I'm thinking elimination. How many answer choices here can I eliminate? How can I go about eliminating some of the answer choices? So let's start with answer choice A, B, C, and D. Let's look at them. Let's see what's happening. In all the answer choices, you have a greater than symbol. Oops, I shouldn't do that because that'll confuse you. I have a greater than symbol, and I also have a greater than or equal to symbol, right? And if you go through all the answer choices, I see that in all the answer choices. So what that tells me in graphing inequalities is that one line is going to be solid, and one line is going to be a dotted line. So if it's just a greater than sign, it's got to be a dotted line. So let me just write that down. If it's just a greater sign, or if it's just a less than sign, it's going to be a dotted line. I'm not going to write the other one because obviously it's going to be opposite of that. So if you can memorize just one of these, it'll serve the purpose for now. But definitely know that fact. Okay, so you know that this particular line, y is less than 4x minus 2, or this one, or this one, or this one, has to represent this blue dotted line right here. And with that blue dotted line, if I look at it closely, it's saying that my y-intercept is negative 2, because that's my y-intercept, negative 2. Now, I'm going to go through all the answer choices, A, B, C, and D, and see which one doesn't give me a y-intercept of negative 2. A is showing it's a y-intercept of negative 2. B is actually showing it's a y-intercept of positive 2. For that reason, I'm going to cross out B. C is saying negative 2, so that's good. And that's the same exact equation as that one. And D is actually the same exact equation as B, so I can eliminate D. Now, right away, I've eliminated a lot of work for myself. I'm going to erase both of these answer choices for now. And it really has made my life a little bit easier, and it's given me a 50% chance of getting something right if I do decide to guess. So let me get rid of this so we have a little more space to work with now. So while I'm erasing this, trying to get this ready for the next step, try to think of what we can do next. Try to think of what we can do next, how we can attack it. All right, so now I really have to worry about the second equation. When you're graphing inequalities, one thing you do want to do is convert it into y equals mx plus b form. So see that second equation right there? That one and that one. I'm going to convert one of them. I'm going to convert this one to start off with into y equals mx plus b. And if this one works, great. I'm not going to touch c. But if it doesn't work, then I know it's got to be c. So let's rearrange this. It's going to be y. And I'm going to bring the sign and everything stays right now. I'm going to bring the 3x to the other side, so that becomes negative 3x plus 5. Right? So now I have this equation which is saying my slope is negative 3 and my y-intercept is 5. So y-intercept looks like it's 5. The slope does look like it's negative. And this is saying the y values have to be greater than wherever this. So see that negative 3x plus 5? That's that red line right there. And it's saying the y values have to be greater than that line. And are the y values greater than that line? It is. Most likely my answer is A. But let me just show you why C wouldn't work. So if I rearrange 3x minus y is greater than 5, so it will be negative y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 5. But then I have to divide everything by a negative 1. And if I divide an inequality by a negative 1, the sign flips also. So this one, I'm going to take it up here. So this will become y is greater than or equal to, y is less than or equal to 3x minus 5. So see how this line now is saying my y-intercept is at negative 5? So for that reason, this wouldn't work. So my answer here has to be A. So understand these basics. Watch this video again if you have to. Because if you do understand it once, any problem in this particular category, you should be able to target if you understand how to graph inequalities.